If you're a man over 60 and you've started feeling less like yourself in the bedroom. If your morning erections have faded, your energy feels drained, and your confidence isn't what it used to be, then pay close attention. Because the issue may not be your age. It might be your breakfast. I'm Dr. Moit Kara, a urologist and men's health expert with over 30 years of clinical experience. And what I've uncovered after working with thousands of older men is nothing short of shocking. Some of the vegetables you're eating for breakfast, yes, the ones marketed as healthy, are silently sabotaging your performance. These foods are disrupting your hormones, lowering your testosterone, inflaming your arteries, and cutting off the blood flow your body needs for strong, consistent erections. I know it sounds unbelievable. We've all been told for years that vegetables are always good for us. But when it comes to male sexual health after 60, the science says otherwise. There are 7 specific vegetables you should avoid in the morning. And in this video, I'll reveal all 7, explain exactly why they're harmful, and show you what to eat instead to naturally restore your blood flow, energy, and confidence. Stick with me until the end, because I'll also share a simple morning routine that's helping men reclaim firm, lasting erections in just 10 days. Let's get started. Before we dive into these 7 breakfast mistakes, take a second to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss crucial health advice that could transform your life after 60. And if this message is speaking to you so far, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and tell me how I can better support your health journey. Now, let's get into it. The first vegetable you need to watch out for is one many men assume is heart healthy, especially for breakfast. You'll find it in smoothies, veggie scrambles, even plant-based sausages. But for men over 60, it may be doing real damage to your testosterone. 1. Soy-based vegetables, the testosterone thief. This one hits close to home for me because I've seen too many well-meaning men fall into this trap. Soy-based vegetables like edamame, soy sprouts, and plant-based patties are marketed as healthy. And for younger folks, or women, maybe they are. But for men over 60, they can be harmful. I had a patient named Gerald, a 68-year-old retired schoolteacher who came to me quietly frustrated. His words still echo in my mind. "Doc, I still love my wife, but my body's just not cooperating." We took a look at his diet. His breakfast was packed with soy milk in his coffee, tofu scramble on toast, and a handful of edamame on the side. On the surface, it seemed healthy. But inside his body, the phytoestrogens in soy were mimicking estrogen, suppressing his testosterone and slowly choking off the very drive that made him feel like himself. We cut the soy, added some testosterone-supportive fats and greens. Just a couple weeks later, he looked me in the eye and said, "It's like I got a part of myself back." That confidence, that spark returning, that's why I do what I do. Soy might not harm everyone, but if you're over 60 and eating it regularly, especially in the morning, it could be dulling your edge more than you realize. But soy isn't the only hidden threat on your plate. The next vegetable seems harmless, even refined. Yet inside your body, it stirs inflammation that blocks blood flow. And that spells trouble where it matters most. Let's take a look. If you're still with me and this message is landing, drop a 1 in the comments. Now let's keep going. 2. Eggplant, the inflammation igniter. I'll admit, this one surprised me when I first saw the data. Eggplant. It seems so light, colorful, a staple in health-conscious meals. But here's the part most men don't know, especially after 60, eggplant is a nightshade. And for some older men, particularly those with age-related sensitivities or joint issues, nightshades can trigger low-grade inflammation. I worked with a man named Carl, 72, sharp as a tack, full of life, but quietly growing frustrated with his declining performance. His labs were fine. No major health issues. But something wasn't clicking. When we looked closer, we found his wife had started making more Mediterranean-style breakfasts, olive oil, grilled eggplant, tomatoes, goat cheese. Sounded great. But Carl was eating eggplant 4 mornings a week. He had no clue it might be fueling vascular inflammation. You see, chronic inflammation narrows arteries, even the tiny ones that deliver blood where it counts. That means weaker blood flow, softer erections, and longer recovery times. We pulled the eggplant, swapped in anti-inflammatory greens and nitric oxide-rich foods. A few weeks later, Carl gave me a wink and said breakfast was a lot more satisfying. Amazing what one small change can do. But don't get comfortable yet, because the next vegetable is marketed as heart-healthy and even cancer-fighting. But depending on how you eat it, it could be doing serious harm, especially if it comes from a can. 3. Canned tomatoes, especially in BPA-lined cans. Tomatoes seem like the perfect food, rich in antioxidants, great for your heart, protective against cancer. And that's true, if they're fresh. But canned tomatoes, especially from cans lined with BPA, tell a different story. One of my patients, Franklin, 66, had recently made big changes to clean up his diet. He was eating more plant-based meals, cutting back on red meat, and starting every morning with eggs and canned tomato salsa. He was proud of the shift, but strangely, his fatigue worsened. His erections weakened. He lost morning arousal. He was confused and discouraged. When we reviewed his labs, his testosterone was slipping. Then I asked him, were the cans BPA-free? They weren't. Most people don't realize BPA, or bisphenol A, is a synthetic estrogen used in many canned food linings. And tomatoes, being acidic, draw that chemical right out of the can and into your food. For men over 60, BPA is a sneaky hormone disruptor, and one that could be undermining your health without you even realizing it. John called me 2 weeks later and said, "Doc, I feel 10 years younger, and my wife noticed, too." That's the kind of result that sticks with you. But now that we've uncovered these 7 hidden landmines on your breakfast plate, the next question becomes obvious and urgent. If these are the wrong foods, then what should you eat instead? What can you put on your plate to restore blood flow, strengthen testosterone, and bring back that natural spark in the morning? Let's talk about the breakfast that builds you up, not breaks you down. 8. What should you eat instead? After hearing about the 7 vegetables that may be quietly working against your body, it's natural to wonder what you can eat that truly supports your energy, your circulation, and your masculinity. The good news. You don't need a complicated meal plan. You don't need expensive powders or pills. You just need to give your body what it's really asking for. I've worked with countless men over 60 who felt hopeless, until they made a few smart changes at breakfast. Men like Robert, 71, who told me, "I just want to wake up feeling like myself again." And for him, it started simple. 2 soft-boiled eggs. A few slices of avocado. Lightly steamed broccoli. A handful of pumpkin seeds. That's it. Nothing fancy. Just real food, rich in healthy fats, zinc, B vitamins, and natural nitric oxide boosters. Within 2 weeks, he was waking up with more energy, not just physically, but emotionally. He told me, "I didn't realize how much I missed feeling connected to my body and to my wife." These foods don't just support blood flow, they fuel the systems that make you feel like a man. Your heart, your hormones, your confidence. Want to add even more power to your morning? Try a small glass of beetroot juice or pomegranate tea. Both help open your blood vessels and get circulation flowing where it needs to go. But this isn't just about food. It's about something deeper. Your choices. Your mindset. The silent habits that shape your future. And in this final message, I want to speak to you, man to man, about what's really at stake, and how much more you're still capable of. 9. Final takeaway. By now, you've learned the truth most men over 60 are never told. You learned how soy-based foods can rob you of testosterone. Eggplant and canned tomatoes can trigger inflammation and hormone imbalance. Pickled veggies and raw onions quietly restrict blood flow. And even so-called superfoods like spinach and garlic can backfire if eaten the wrong way. And just as importantly, you now know what to eat instead. Simple, nourishing foods that work with your body, not against it. But beyond all the strategies and science, I hope you walk away with this. You are not past your prime. You are not broken. I've seen men in their 70s, even 80s, reclaim their health, their confidence, and yes, their sex lives, by making small, consistent changes. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be intentional. Your body is still responding to you. It always has been. Sometimes it just takes listening a little more closely. If you've been feeling stuck or unsure, I want you to know, you are not alone. And you are not too late. Your next chapter doesn't have to be about decline. It can be about renewal, energy, reconnect ion. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up and prepare that first meal, remember this. Every bite is a message to your body. Make it one that says, I'm not giving up. I'm just getting started. If this video spoke to you, if it gave you hope, clarity, or even just a new perspective, please take a moment to like it, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your story, or simply a thank you if this helped. And if you'd like to support this channel so I can keep bringing you real, honest health advice for men over 60, feel free to leave a small donation using the link in the description. Every bit helps me reach more men, just like you. Stay strong. Stay connected. And as always, keep listening to your body. It lowers testosterone, increases abdominal fat, and shrinks blood vessels, the very things you need to protect as you age. Testosterone, blood flow, vitality, and yet BPA quietly undermines them all. Once Franklin made the switch to fresh tomatoes or glass-jarred options, his energy came roaring back within just 2 weeks. Now, while tomatoes are acidic, the next vegetable poses a different kind of threat. This one isn't about hormones. It's about salt. Too much of it, too early in the day. And the way it's prepared may be quietly squeezing the life out of your circulation. Let me show you why. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, go ahead and comment the number 1 below so I know you're here and engaged. Let's keep going. Point number 4 might completely change the way you look at your breakfast. 4. Pickled vegetables, the salted circulation killer. Pickled vegetables might remind you of simpler times. Maybe your mother or grandmother kept jars of them in the kitchen. Or maybe you still enjoy them with your morning eggs. Sharp, tangy, even refreshing, they seem harmless. But for men over 60, that salty crunch can carry a hidden cost. I remember Warren, a 70-year-old retired firefighter. A strong man, disciplined, with a lifetime of healthy habits behind him. But lately, he said quietly, I feel disconnected from my body. We looked at his diet. He mentioned he always added a few pickled beets or cucumbers to his morning plate, thinking they were a gut-friendly, low-calorie option. What he didn't realize was that those pickled veggies were packed with sodium and acidic preservatives, both of which constrict blood vessels and raise blood pressure. And when that happens, it's the smallest, most sensitive arteries, like those that lead to the penis, that suffer first. Less blood flow, less sensitivity, weaker erections. We cut the pickles and replaced them with potassium-rich, circulation-friendly vegetables. Within weeks, Warren told me, it's coming back. Slowly, but it's coming back. Pickled foods can be fine in moderation, but starting your day with them? That's a mistake too many men pay for in silence. But salt isn't the only stealthy saboteur. The next vegetable may seem totally harmless, even earthy or romantic in a way. But when eaten raw and too early in the day, it can wreck your gut and rob your body of the nutrients your testosterone depends on. Let's talk about it. 5. Onions, when eaten raw on an empty stomach. This one might surprise you. Onions have long been praised for their heart benefits, their antioxidants, even their circulation-boosting compounds. And yes, that's all true, in the right context. I had a patient named Douglas, 74, who read an article online claiming raw onions could increase testosterone. He figured, why not give it a shot? So every morning, on an empty stomach, he ate a few slices of raw red onion with water and toast. It didn't take long before the problems started. Discomfort, gas, bloating, a heaviness in his gut. And worse, lower energy, and weaker erections. He came in confused, almost embarrassed, thinking maybe it was just his age. But after reviewing his routine, the culprit was clear. The raw onions, especially eaten alone, were irritating his gastrointestinal lining, making it harder for his body to absorb vital nutrients like zinc and B vitamins. And those are crucial for testosterone production and healthy sexual function. His body was trying to do the right thing, but it was working against itself. When we moved his onion intake to lunch or dinner and added zinc-rich foods earlier in the day, The change was immediate. He laughed and said, "Turns out timing really is everything." But raw onions aren't the only vegetable that can backfire. The next one is often hailed as a superfood, and it can be. But if you prepare it the wrong way, it turns on you. And the damage it causes centers on one essential mineral no man can afford to lose. Let's dive in. 6. Spinach, when overcooked or microwaved. Spinach has a glowing reputation. It's a health icon, Popeye's fuel, full of iron, fiber, and nutrients we've been taught to trust since childhood. And it can be fantastic, when prepared right. But here's the part most men over 60 don't know. When you overcook spinach, or worse, microwave it into a soggy mush, it stops helping and starts hurting. One of my longtime patients, Steve, 69, a proud veteran, ate clean every day. His breakfast, eggs with heavily steamed spinach, all microwaved together. He thought he was doing everything right. But over time, his energy dipped. His erections weakened. He noticed a strange stiffness in his back and joints. The problem? His zinc levels were dropping fast. You see, when spinach is overcooked, it releases compounds called oxalates. These bind with calcium and zinc in your digestive tract, making it harder for your body to absorb them. And zinc isn't optional. It's essential for testosterone, sperm production, and vascular strength, all vital for firm, lasting erections. Once Steve switched to lightly sautéed spinach, softened just enough without destroying it, and combined it with olive oil and pumpkin seeds, everything changed. His drive returned. His energy lifted. He told me, "Feels like my body's finally on my side again." But we're not done yet. The final vegetable is tricky. It's known for boosting circulation and lowering blood pressure, two things that should help your performance. And they can, if you consume it the right way. But most men get this one completely backwards. Let's clear it up. 7. Garlic, nature's paradox, especially raw on an empty stomach. Garlic is one of nature's oldest remedies. It's been used for centuries to lower blood pressure, support the heart, and enhance circulation. On paper, it's a dream for men over 60 looking to reclaim their vitality. And in the right form, it is. But raw garlic, taken on an empty stomach, can do more harm than good. I remember John, a 73-year-old retired engineer. He came in with ongoing digestive issues and fading intimacy. He exercised, drank plenty of water, and every morning, he swallowed a clove of raw garlic, convinced it would open his blood vessels. But instead, it irritated his stomach lining, triggered acid reflux, bloating, and poor absorption of key nutrients. His zinc levels fell. Nitric oxide dropped. And so did his erections. Garlic can be incredibly helpful, but the form and timing matter. Once we switched him to aged garlic extract, taken after breakfast instead of before, the difference was night and day.